the poster boy of underrated gems on N64. This was released in 1997 by Treasure. If you ever heard of Ikaruga, Dynamite Heady, Gunstar Heroes, then they've also made this game, which is a really good one. 2D platformer on 64, and a 60 FPS game, which is really interesting for the console. Sorry, yeah, so gonna make my name here. Gotta rep the marathon. I did not account for perfect capitalizations or lowercase, but close enough. I am a male, age 26, and the run will start in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so this is Mischief Makers. So this game does have a lot of good tech, but before we even get to all that, I have to account for this cutscene here and for every other cutscene after this one. So this game does suffer from a couple of unskippable cutscenes. So the story of this game is Marina, which is a robot maid, was created by Dr. Theo, which is getting kidnapped by the Clancers. So your mission here is just to rescue him. And he gets captured a lot, which will be shown on pretty much every cutscene after every single chapter here. So this cutscene is around a minute long, but once we get into it, it gets really good. So like I said, it's a 2D platformer. You have a lot of movement. The biggest thing that Marina can do is do a lot of air dashes. She has boost canceling and so on and so forth. So at the very beginning, you'll see a very unique tech that will be used a lot in this game. So starting off, so using the C buttons, you can use the left, right, up, and down to get little small air boosts. And she can also grab in the air. Boosting in the air actually has a lot of end lag, but canceling the upwards dash, air boost cancel, and cancel it with a grab, you can actually reduce the end lag to just chain up dashes together, and you can just gain an infinite amount of height and maintain momentum from the ground to the air. It is very useful. So this level here, you're supposed to use these clam balls to reveal certain openings in this level here. So we're gonna use this clam pot over here, or clam ball, to get over here quickly. And this level, you're just supposed to chain these balls together to make a pathway to the end of the stage here. So that's what most of these levels are, is just little objectives for each act. 1-4 is just reaching to the star here, which the normal path, you're supposed to just go around the long way, but if you do a precise dash upwards here, you could just make it right over it. Pretty simple. And 1-5, you're supposed to save 3 Clancer kids and bring them back to the left. There's a lot of ways to optimize this stage, but the route I go for is just snag the one on the far right and get the one from the top and get the one all the way to the right over here. Using the spring ball to just propel yourself really far to the right side. And bring the final one over here, and that's 1-5. But yeah, a lot of these levels goes really quickly. What makes this game really interesting is that there's just many ways to just do little micro movements, utilizing air boost canceling and all that. So 1-6, the block man rises. You just have this Clancer just turn into this thing. I don't even know what this thing is. But there's no way to really beat the stage but having to use it. So this only requires you to, dash forward, which moves the block man over. You may have noticed that I'm holding the controller in a really interesting way because this is one of the very few N64 games that doesn't utilize analog stick at all in any way. The D-pad is his main way of movement in this game, which is really nice because I don't have a controller that has a good stick. So that's a big reason why I speed ran this game. So warming it up, this game has a good amount of boss fights. And I guess this is the point where I have to bring up, so cutscenes is one big issue in the run, for the most part. Another one is RNG. So most of these boss fights, there's some things you don't have a lot of control over. Obviously, the biggest ones being, you know, boss patterns and all that. And also the amount of damage output you can deal with. There's some inconsistencies with it. But overall, it is a thing. So this fight, it's just dealing with waves of enemies coming by. And the strat here is to take the big boy over here, position yourself around this point here, wait until you see them drop down, and just fling the one on the right, and then just turn around and throw the other ones back to the left, and rinse, repeat. Yeah, nothing much to say here, but that might have been the final wave there. Yep. So then once the music cuts off, then that's when you know that it's done. So 1-9, this is the first appearance of the ball, of the bomb you can get in the stage. Before we get to it, there's a little section here where you have to defeat this commander over here. You explode, and then we can persevere to the next section of the stage. So right here, holding down and B, you can take a bomb off the little clam pot, a little where it just holds all the bombs, and you can break little clam ball blocks that are like really red, and those are the ones that can actually be broken. So since this stage here, nothing really much to say here besides you do have to just go forward. Pretty simple stage. And now we've approached chapter 2 to the Legion Shrine. Now this is where the difficulty starts to ramp up. So right here, you're supposed to, of course, trigger the ending of this section here by going all the way to the right to shake the clam ball. You can get to this section here. Now this lava here, they are in a fixed cycle. The moment you get to this location, the cycles of the lava starts. So I made a big mistake there. So when you take a death, most of the time the only punishment you normally get is just getting damage, and you get sent to the blast checkpoint. So it's a little generous when it comes to taking damage and straight up dying. So you do just at least you're able to just continue onwards if you do take a death. So this is one of my more funner stages in my opinion. So Vertigo, the main goal, or the intended way, is to use bombs to break all the red blocks. But with precise movement, you can just glide through all of that. Well, except the final one, because you have to break it out of the way to get to it, get to the very end there. So there's some certain exceptions where you can't really break all the rules. This one's pretty simple. So this game is pretty buttery smooth for the most part, but when enemies do pile up, the levels do kind of chug a bit. And if you're trying to do really precise boost canceling, it can screw you over. So in a couple of levels, I do want to make sure I don't do that. So here I'm trying to perform a glitch. If I glide, downwards glide and grab, oh, I just got it and I just jump right out of it. Get out of the way. Oh, I guess you won't see it, but you kind of saw it. So you're able to skip that whole section there, and you don't have to wait for the blocks to break all the way through. But it's a frame perfect trick, and couldn't get it as well as I would have hoped. But yeah, it's a little thing that you can do. It's pretty cool. Another straightforward level here. Want to get all the way to the end, get to the star, no problem. We have Flamby, pretty difficult boss in my opinion to do well. The optimal strat here is just to fling the bee to the lava. That's the hardest one to grab, is the second one. Because after the first hit, his pattern is random. He can either do a stinger move, or he can choose to headbutt you like that. And that's the one that has a delayed attack pattern. So what makes it difficult is that both attacks just have a different timing when you can grab the bee. And if you guess wrong on which one he'll do, then you lose some time. So here's a good showcase of how powerful the boost canceling is. So of course I've emphasized that you do maintain momentum, but as well as you can just gain infinite height. So you don't have to ride the really slow clam ball wheel to get all the way to the right side. You can just maintain that momentum all the way through to the very end. Here we have free fall, making good use of the boost canceling once more. Gonna do some specific positioning so I can just make sure I can also get momentum off of my dashes and not bonk anything on the way down. Pretty simple stage. Just knowing which stars to go to. Now, these are one of the few harder stages in the game. The biggest reason because by the end section, it has a tendency to lag spike due to the amount of enemies on screen. So I'm gonna do a lot of boost canceling here to maintain momentum to the very end, so I don't have to take the slow moving platforms to this location and just hover over and grab the star. The final level for the boss for chapter 2. This stage is pretty difficult. There is a cycle I want to catch here. This platform right here. I'm going to try to land on it. Very nice. And if you hold A when you're on a spring ball, you actually gain a lot of height off of them. So right before I grab the third spring ball, I want to start holding A and launch out of it so I can get a lot of height. So here's the Meejin Brawl. The first phase, I want to defeat the smaller guy on the left and right coming from next to the lava. So what I want to do is grab the big boy's fist over here and hit him 3 times. And I will proceed to phase 2. So now this is where like RNG comes into play. So the amount of, or more likely later on, so after every hit I deal with him, he can choose whether he wants to shoot fireballs or not, and whether he chooses to throw fireballs is completely random, out of my control. So the most I can do is just reflect the fist back and just hope for the best, pretty much. So coming to the ending section of the boss fight here, he's gonna start faking you out. So after I deal the next hit here, he can choose to not throw the fist at me and just juke me out. The amount of times he chooses to juke me out doesn't seem to have a limit to it. So worst comes to worst, you could end up waiting over 10 plus seconds, even more, hoping he throws the fist at you. So that's a little juke there. Okay, actually, that's not bad. I've seen way worse than 3. That's not too bad. That's the boss fight. So you have saved your professor, but spoiler alert: the very next cutscene, he gets captured again. So it's not for long. All right, so now approaching the longest cutscene in the game. I clocked this like just not too long ago. I forgot again, but this is precisely like over 2 minutes. All right, so this is the beast detectors. The evil side has noticed you are causing trouble to their evil scheme, so now these guys are trying to stop you from doing so. But yeah, so there's a lot of breaks in between the general gameplay and you know, all the cutscenes. It's not too bad. Like, so the general times you can get from this game is around an hour long, maybe less than an hour if you put the grinding in. But a good portion of this run gets eaten away because of cutscenes like these. So if I really have to guess, there's about 25 plus minutes of actual gameplay, and the rest are stuff like this. I say that's a little bit of exaggeration. There's more gameplay than that, but the cutscenes do take a lot of the time, which I do not mind as much as most people probably would, because I do find these cutscenes pretty cool. And you notice the professor is not looking as normal as usual. Like, oh, it's a decoy. Wow, golly gee. And then, you know, that's kind of the trend. Every new chapter is just him getting captured and her having to save him again. Rinse, repeat. All right, so 3-1, the optimal strat is to take a bomb that an enemy will throw at you, a little smaller bomb, to use the damage boost to get enough height to reach over this wall here. The actual way you're supposed to do this stage is to blend a recipe to make a bigger bomb to blow up that wall. Which requires you to use a clam pot to shake ingredients together to make the bomb to destroy it. But that's too slow, so we're gonna just do it that way. So Clan Sword, not much to say about this stage because it's relatively simple. But I will use this time to talk about the next stage coming up, Missile Surf. So Missile Surf is a stage where you're supposed to glide a missile to the very end of the stage. And when the missile gets destroyed by either falling off screen or hitting a boundary, it will explode and it'll take you back to the very beginning of the stage. So generally, you're supposed to ride the whole way through to the end, but that's slow. So instead, what you want to do is at the very start of the stage, angle the missile in a specific way, and then bolt it. Just go. And you have to reach the very end before it blows up. So you're kind of on a timer, ticking time bomb, reaching to the end before I die. Okay, sick. Okay, let's try that again. So I do have to just kind of just go before it blows up. There is small leeway I do have, but I'm not trying to play with the time I have. So I want to grab this bomb here, fling it to the wall over here, and get to the star, and I did not make it. How unfortunate. All right, I'm gonna reset this just to reset the missile up. I want to make sure I get this correctly. All right, let's try this time. That's better. Yeah, so that's a really hard stage to do optimally. It can go really badly, even though it seemed like it would have worked out, but you're just barely not fast enough. Simple stage here. I'll take a little damage boost just to direct myself up to the platform there. It's really hard to maintain momentum with the boost canceling. So in ways where you can use damage to just boost you upwards is usually recommended because it saves you the hassle of just trying to just do optimal boost canceling wherever you go. So this stage, I'm gonna use another spring ball, and I believe it's the last spring ball you really see in the run. So at this next room here, you can see a spring ball here. I'm gonna hold A to launch myself far, and you skip a big portion of the stage. Uh-oh. Thank goodness for boost canceling. I missed my landing there. We're supposed to hit these guys back at him. This fight can be a real pain, especially if the little guys are just in really awful positions. You end up hitting the little guys to the other little guys, and it just loses you ammunition to kill him. Yeah, that is Marzen. So here we have the next level, an intense battle. Beautiful. Yeah, there's not much he can do there. Once you throw him, he's kind of already dead. You just chain the throws together. So Snowstorm Maze. There is a series of little puzzles. So you see there is a tricycle on the right. Maybe I should line it up with the tricycle on the left. Same deal with this one. And it creates the end pass. And here, this is supposed to be a puzzle where you're supposed to like make a bomb, but I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do the clip here that I tried to show off last time. There we go. And here we're supposed to transport these 10 clancers from one side of the stage to the other. So we're gonna use this clam pot from the ball and just put them all in this pot and take them out when we get to the end here. So the optimal way is positioning the pot on the far right. And there you go. So Lunar has had enough of our shenanigans. So now we commence battle. He has 5 hits here. One of the few parts of RNG that I hope it goes in our favor. So he has 5 hits, but he has a chance to throw an attack that has bombs appear. And if he throws bombs, I can throw it at him and it counts as a double hit. So if he keep just throwing us moves with bombs at it, it just speeds up the fight, but that's out of our control. So that's a pretty average fight. He gave me 1 bomb attack, which is not bad. So the day before, pretty short stage, followed by a not so short stage, which I'll get to really soon. So grabbing and pressing A or pressing B without holding a direction just lets her drop it and just speeds up the rock process, getting the rocks out the way. Okay, so the professor being captured, and now he's a prize for an event. If I had splits up, I can just show you how long this is. But so after this level here, we're gonna play 7 minigames to try to win the professor back. These minigames take quite a long time. So you have a 100-meter hurdle, 200-meter hurdle, 400-meter hurdle, jump hurdle, math fun, and can't remember the other, ball. All right. If I remember correctly, this takes about 7 minutes. All right. So the only thing you have to worry about is win more minigames than the opposing side. So there's actual strats where all you have to do is just do nothing. But this we have to do something. So 100-meter dash, you can't jump. So the only thing you can do is just use the D-pad, which is what I'm using to rapid fire this minigame. Yeah, so this is the part where a lot of folks will look at this game and be like, huh, do I want to do this every attempt? But yeah, it's a long part of the game, and it kind of just like smack dab in the middle of the run. The 200-meter hurdle, it's the same thing as a 100-meter, except it's 200 this time. Very different. So at the very start here, and mash D a lot. There we go. So 400-meter dash, you'd assume, okay, well, it's 400-meter dash, except even longer. You're correct, but it's actually slower to do that. The 400-meter dash is so long that it's faster to fault 3 times, go foul 3 times, and take the loss. So here's the strat. If you want to learn how to speedrun Mischief Makers, be hardcore, here's what you do. You hold right, all right? That's the strat. You just hold right the whole way. Like, this actually saves time than actually playing this minigame properly. Yeah, invigorating gameplay, I know. Oh no. We lost. But it actually is faster to do it that way. So next mini game we have is jump. We do have jump. Would you believe this is another mini game we have to lose to? So you're supposed to beat the other player, going further than the other, but why do that when you just don't go anywhere at all and just speed up your turns? So the optimal way is just losing this as well. Yeah, so just fouling twice and just let the other player win. Now, I wish, like, that there would be a way to skip this, but alas, this is what you have to endure. But at the very least, if you want a lot of downtime, this is one hell of a spot to get downtime. All right, so the objective here is to grab more white balls than red in your clam pot. We don't have to do this neither. You don't even have to bother. I mean, technically, if you wanted to win all of them anyways, then sure. But as long as you, shake, sure. Win more than the other team, so you just have to win 4 minigames out of the 7. The other minigames just has more of an advantage to actually win. It's faster to win the other 4. So the ones that you don't have to win either loses you time or it doesn't matter if you win or lose. This is the one of the few that it doesn't really matter. You could just do whatever you want. I'm kind of in the process of winning. I could try to win if I want, but you don't even have to win. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'll try to win. Sure, why not? Oh, give me that. There's some absolute bias with these color choices. No matter how many times I've done this run, I've always seen like twice as many red balls than white. It's so unfair. Yeah, faulting in 200 meter is just slightly slower, I believe. It's not faster. Unfortunately, I guess. All right, this is where we actually have to play the game now. So hurdle is just point A to point B. It's just an obstacle course. This little Clancer boy can't stand a chance. My epic gamer skills. Yeah, there we go. The best I've gotten, I believe, is like a really low 11-second time. That's if you can maneuver through the obstacles a little faster. So here we have the final Olympic sport, I guess. Math fun. So you just answer various questions, and I'm gonna absolutely embarrass myself and just mess up some really simple equations. So there is a strat behind this. It's not as simple as just answering it and just being like, okay, like just just answer more than the other person. So there is a timer going on in the background. So what I want to do is answer the final question after the 1 minute mark, which, there is no timer shown. But once the first question is asked, that's when the timer is running. And if I answer that final question past a minute, I avoid getting asked another question, and it saves you like 6 seconds. So it does matter on timing of these questions. So I paid a good close attention to my live split just to know what the timer was when I answered it. So I have to answer this pretty quickly. So the minute mark is about to pop up. All right, that's not bad. All right, and that is the day of. That is the longest stage in the game. All right, and we have Catastrophe. Now we have one final showdown, and we have to play volleyball with this cat to win our professor back. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna kill him instead. It's actually faster than playing the game correctly. We cheated. We didn't play dodgeball, but it's fine because it's faster. So we have Cerberus Alpha, a really hard stage. I'm gonna try to get this one before I say what's going on. Okay, good. So, dealing enough damage there, you can immediately get to phase 2. And if you have a missile in hand as you're going into phase 2, you can completely skip the 3rd and 4th phase. So in that 2nd phase, he was stuck looking the other way. As long as you deal enough damage on phase 2, he just loses. It's over. So that saves a lot of time, and it's pretty hard to get correctly. So I did intentionally take damage on that fight. When you take damage on these fights, you're not rewarded a golden gem, which is the game's way of 100%ing the game. If I don't take damage on the main fights for the chapters, you get rewarded a gem, which gives you a little jingle that takes like 2 to 3 seconds, which is slower. So you have to at least not only go fast, but take damage somewhere to fully optimize it. And we have Taurus here, avenging his fallen comrade, as well as another cutscene I can't do much about. Yeah, yeah, math, how scary. So chapter 4 has some really serious RNG stages. Specifically 2 of them, but I'll get to them when when I'm actually there. So if you've been paying attention, you know what's gonna happen here. Oh yeah, that's Marina, all right. Looks perfectly like Marina to me. And of course, the old man gets fooled. Oh yeah, to optimally skip these cutscenes, I am holding R on my pinky and advancing text with my left hand, with my index. So it just, R speeds it up and left just advances to the next text box. So that's just the optimal way of doing it. So going into Rolling Rock, as the name suggests, there is a rock coming behind me. If I'm fast, then you don't see it, but there is a rock behind me, trust me. So there's a glitch here. If you glide towards the ceiling in a certain way, you can't skip this section right there. That's not a very fast way of doing it, but at least I got it, which I can't be complaining about that. So yeah, it's just a vertically like going downwards this section here. There we go. Here we have Totally Raw. Has 40 HP on this boss fight. Every slam into the ground. Oh yeah, instant shaking, by the way. Oh, no, no, no. Come back. Come back. Probably one of my most hated boss fights. It seems so inconsistent. I don't know how to speak about it. Sometimes he wants to hop around, sometimes he doesn't. Such a bizarre fight. Alright, going to one of the most hardest stages in the game, 7 Clancer Kids, is a long gauntlet of saving 7 Clancer Kids, and they're guarded by a boss fight. These boss fights range from incredibly precise to RNG hell. So this first one here, Clam Ball Guy. I don't think they have names, so I'm gonna just name them. I'm gonna call him Clam Ball Guy. So you're supposed to grab these balls as it's circling around him, and every subsequent hit, it replaces the ball you grab with a spike ball. So it just makes re-grabbing for every phase harder and harder, and you just have to keep the chain going until the final hit. So here we have a Rocket Guy, I guess. He will shoot beams to the ground and will spawn rocks from the ground, and you just throw the rocks back at him. The rocks placements are really RNG dependent. You just gotta hope they're just right under you as you're about to throw them. And that's pretty much the gist of that. And the final one, floating clam pot guy. Debris will fall from the sky, and you just have to catch the rocks and just throw it right back at him. The difficulty here is not only the RNG placements of the rocks and just everything else, is that when you throw a rock, any debris that catches your line of fire will block the shot. So I just have to hope not only to hit him, but there isn't anything going that's in the way as I throw it, which could be really annoying. And you just pretty much cycle with these fights until you get to the 7th one. So I've had a really love and hate relationship, mostly hate with the stage, generally for the reasons I've mentioned before. But like the amount of ways you can optimize this is insane. Just because there's so many room for improvement, it's just so hard to get the perfect 7 Clancer Kids together. Because there's always going to be one fight that goes wrong, and usually that mistakes equate to like almost like like 10 plus seconds. And I generally feel like this stage in particular, or this boss fight, can go really bad if things go sour. But sometimes if a bunch of debris falls right on top of you, there's nothing you can do, and you just get ricocheted back and forth between different objects, and it's really annoying. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Land right here. So this is boss number 6. But yeah, 7 of them. So yeah, it's a very long stage. Optimally, you can get around like a little less than 4 minutes. Like level wise, there is a cutscene you have to go through after this level. So it's technically longer than that, but it's a pretty long stage regardless. So this clam pot guy is going pretty bad. I missed 2 shots, and I had one of my shots get blocked and missed. I missed another shot. That's really cool. Ooh, another block shot? Oh, I like that. All right, final enemy right here. We're finally out of here. All right, good RNG. Be a good boy. Come on. That's kind of... that's all right, I guess. You could do better, though. Okay, that's kind of not good. That's pretty gross, actually. Not gonna lie. Okay, so if I wasn't skipping cutscenes for the sake of speed, at this point in the game, you meet up with these two distinct looking, different looking Clancers that you saved at the beginning of the game. And you pretty much have to resave them again. You don't really see them much because they were like part of cutscenes. And you get the biggest slap in her life. So now you see some character that you never seen before. His identity is mysterious at this point, but you'll know who he is later. And it actually just takes Marina out of commission right here. So for the next two stages, you play as the male Clancer kid trying to resurrect Marina after saving their lives. His movement is pretty boring. He can dash, he can jump, he can kick. You do a lot of walking though, which you do a lot of holding right. Very fun. So you just get to the end pretty much. Eventually you get some sick wheels, bro. Once you get to this part here. Feel like now I'm cruising. And all you gotta do is line up this tricycle with the other one on the right. And that's Act 1. In Act 2, you confront this one, this fake Marina Clancer here. And then you kick her a lot. And she explodes for 11 seconds. There's no reason for that explosion to take that long, but it just does. All right, so they did something to fix her now, so she's alive again. Whoopee. All right, the next stage, you have confronted with Taurus. This boss sucks. So he has 6 attacks. I only want one of them, and it's the one where he body slams the ground and sends rocks my way. He could throw a fist at me, and you can use the wall to do damage. But the reason I want the rock attack is that the rock is a one-hit kill, and he did not give me the rock at all. So this is another, as you can clearly see, another RNG heavy stage. So that was like precisely like 20 seconds of that fight, which is not bad until I tell you that you can beat that in like 7 seconds if he gave me the rock in the first place. So not much I could do about that, unfortunately. Here's Ghost Catcher. You're supposed to catch all the ghosts in this stage into that pot there. Gonna maneuver because there's a lot of backtracking. If you play this stage casually, there's a lot of backtracking you do because you have to not only maintain the clam pot, but also maintain the bomb as well. Because some ghosts are hidden between inside statues that you can only break with bombs. That's only in one single location. It's a really technical stage, but it's one of my favorites because there's a lot of like movement tech that you do. Hit those little balls there and it reveals that ghost there. Get the final 3 ghosts right here. No. There we go. All right. Not too bad. Definitely one of my favorite stages in the game. So many minute movement that can just make the level a bit better. Even some that I still don't know how to fully optimize, but it's such a fun stage regardless. So this level, a Clancer is clumsy as hell and forgot his tricycle, so you have to give it back to him. 10 miles away. Not a long stage, but kind of perplexed how the tricycle got over there at the beginning with, but I digress. So the main movement you can really do is just dash with it. So you can just use the C buttons. You could use the D-pad in conjunction with the C button to, I believe it speeds it up. I'm not entirely sure, but I can't go wrong having double ways to actually dash. So it's probably faster, but just not as noticeable. Come down here and get right back to him. Moly cow. So you fight this guy, and I use fight with quotations because he's kind of helpless. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think that's good enough. There you go. So the amount of length he's in the air and the amount of slams he gets to the wall just deals additional damage. So I do count until it gets around the 17, 18 range. And by the time he lands back into the ground, he will just, will get to the phase where he just runs to a wall and dies. So this stage is a maze, you know, until you know where to go. It's not much of a maze anymore. So it's supposed to be like some specific pattern with these numbers here and colors. I don't fully understand that. I just know where to go. That's all I'm good at. And final star here. Kind of try to do a dance skip here. I did not do it. So you're able to get to this hole here right before the dance happens, and it just saves like 2 to 3 seconds. So here we have Sasquatch Beta. Simple boss fight, honestly. Throw the rock at him twice. Use this cannon to shoot it right back at him, and throw one more rock at him. And it goes to his second phase, which turns his tank to a towering titan. And, you know, that's cute and all until you could just grab his foot and just throw it right back at him. 4 hits here. That's hit 2. Final hit here. And goodbye. And you did see me take damage in the cannon shot because I had to take damage to avoid the gold gem. Gunstar Heroes, same creators. Treasure has made a bunch of good games. All right, we're approaching our final chapter here, and you can probably see where this is going. Even the professor knows. I have a bad feeling about this, and you better. And he just gives up, like, all right, I guess I'll just follow the plot, I guess. Yeah, if any of you have ever played like Ikaruga or Gunstar, oh man. Oh, not again. All right, so we have Mirko, our final beast detector. And I think he has one of the coolest boss fights in the game. Not his first appearance, but his second one. But, you know, that's when we get there. So final stretches here. Plan Sport 2. You hold right and jump sometimes. You know, by not getting stopped by everyone though. So these 4 of these guys to defeat, they have different colors, but they actually don't change in terms of strategy or damage output or whatever. They're just different colors. They're just a coat of paint. They aren't any harder or easier. Which is really funny to me. I always felt like they might have been like harder and harder as they progress, but they're actually the same boss. Or mini boss, I guess. But at least the game cared enough to distinguish them. So what's hard about this stage is that the enemies just kind of just go all over the place. Sometimes they could just swing a punch and you just run right into it. A bullet hits you, a missile hits you, and it just stops you dead in your tracks. It's hard to just get a clean stage through the game without any interruptions. Oh, yeah, get out of here. No. Stuff like that happens a lot. Yeah, there's like 4 of them, and we're out of there. All right, counterattack. I don't know where she got this ostrich, but she has it now. Pretty simple. It's just another mini boss fight. Throw 5 of these balls in. Yeah, shoot a laser. You can grab this laser and does double damage, so you really want to get this one. Shoot 2 more balls back, and that is the kill. B's the one. The B from chapter 2 is with us now. I don't know where he came from, but here he is. I could move around and, you know, try my best to avoid these missiles, but you can hold right, up left, and yeah, that's the stage kind of. So you can just hide out here for like a good 50 seconds before something actually starts attacking you. It kind of reminds me of Sky Chase from Sonic 2. Because this exact strat exists in Sonic 2. You can just huddle up here, and you're safe for a good majority of the stage. And if you tap up multiple times, you can have the B vulgar thrust. It's pretty nice. All right, now I can move. Getting to the end here. The stage is only 1 minute and 4 seconds. Funny enough, the only way you can S rank these stages, which I forgot to mention, you get ranks for every stage. The only way to S rank the stage is actually beat the stage frame perfect, like task strat, like that. It's the very frame the star appears on screen, and it's crazy that it's actually the way to get S rank. So here's Mirko. What I want to do is take his shield, toss that bad boy away, grab his little weapon there, and throw in the floor. At least attempt to throw in the floor. Give me that. No, give me that. All right, screw you. The strat is to throw the thing at him, but if he's not gonna comply, then I have to take matters to my own hands. Oh, give me that. Give me that. Give me that. No, down. That fight can go way better than that, but you know, he can be stubborn. Now we have Trapped? Question mark? So this stage, pretty fun stage. So this next room is really interesting. So you're supposed to play out a really long puzzle where you're supposed to get the bomb safely to drop. But instead of doing the puzzle, you can just grab the bomb like that. You're not supposed to grab the bomb at this distance. You do a really precise dash grab that's like, it's really easy to accidentally trigger the star and just miss the bomb. But doing that way skips a really long puzzle, which is really nice because it's faster. So this guy, once he gets to the edge, he's about to go bionic commando, just slam him with a shake, and then he explodes very late, but he explodes, so that's all that matters. Coming to the end here. All right, so here we have Phoenix Sigma, the coolest fight in the game, in my opinion. So you're just in the air, like in the void, like hustling with Mirko here. That's phase one. You just throw his two weapons back at him, and then his little driller turns into a bird. How appropriate. You grab the bird's head 3 times and fling it. And then that's phase 2. There's phase 3. Really nice perspective. And can't forget to get hit here. Gonna throw a missile. We're gonna grab this missile right here. And that's the fight. I just think visually it's just so pleasing to look at. All right, last 2 levels here. But you can't get to the end without multiple cutscenes now. So this is part of the game where you realize, wait, is this a cutscene or is it the next one? Oh no, it's this one. So I don't know if you guys have guessed, but this guy that you saw earlier that killed off Marina the first time is actually this guy's brother, stating that, oh wow, you're pretty smart, brother. You should help us in our world domination. And he's like, no, that's bad. And he's like, you can't, you don't have a say in the matter. And then, yeah, they argue a lot. Something like that. That's like the abridged version. And we have inner struggle. So I guess this guy's really mad or something. So now you get these floating words. You shake it. Angry becomes joy. You see? It's the opposite. Hurt? Stop. I don't know why that's opposite. That doesn't make sense. Anger? Joy. Evil? Oh, damn it. Evil? Good. Yeah, I like good. Anger? Joy. Pain? Glee. Hurt? Whoops. Sad? Happy. Really nice. Yeah, it really makes you think. Powerful messages there. All right, final cutscene. This is supposed to be a really heart-wrenching moment where Theo saves his creation, but this cutscene here. Boy, I'm glad to So I think that was more of a sentimental moment in Japanese, but they just recycled a moment where he tries to get a little touchy with Marina and then just takes the L with the shot. So it just makes that hit way too funny. And you realize, oh, he's just messing around. He's not truly dead. And now Marina gets all angry, all tsundere. Oh, get out of here. I wasn't mad. I was just pulling your leg. All right, for final boss time. The 3 beast Tector guys that we've defeated merged into this thing. Straight out of Transformers.
To punish evil forces, I have been charged.
So there's a precise pattern I want to do these attacks. What I'm trying to do is skip a cycle, which will prevent him from shooting the giant laser in the background. So what I want to do here is at this next part, he's gonna throw a missile. I just have to hope to hit him. There's only so many options I can cover. I just have to hit him. No, that's so sad. That could have been the sub hour if he didn't dodge that. But yeah, that is the last bit of RNG in the run, and that is a pretty major one. All right, we do it again. Oh, that's not fair. Oh, we're gonna see this again, huh? Third time's the charm. Oh, there you go. We just stand still, things just work out. All right, GG's. Time ends when he is doing this dance, I guess. But yeah, that's Mischief Makers.
Boy, am I glad to see you, Marina.
So you see this cutscene after every chapter, but you could skip it. But by that point, the run's over, so you don't have to skip that one. So at least you can get to watch it. Yeah, but yeah, thank you for having me.